Three, two, one, let's go. I'm recording. As I said in one of my previous episodes, I'm recording this out of my photo booth. Is that what it's called? Yes. So, hello and welcome to today's episode of me talking to myself. I have recorded another one about 20 minutes ago, where I was literally bawling my heart out and feeling sorry for myself and can't see out of this whole emotion going on. Okay, so I'll go back to that story because there's a part of me that still wants to put that out. There's a part of me that's thinking I can totally work with looking at it as an observer, looking at whatever was going on at that time through this lens. It's so interesting because I feel like I've become more and more vulnerable as time went on. As time went on, meaning since I've started looking within. And that's part that I'm not afraid to show. That's a part that I'm not afraid to tap into, to get into my emotions, to get where the nitty-gritty is happening, to get where the shit is big enough. So what was going on earlier was this feeling of this dark night of the soul has lasted way too long. It's been so long. I've been in it for so long, I can't even pinpoint where it started. I don't feel like it's ended yet. I feel like it's still happening because it feels like I'm being asked again to let go some more, to surrender some more, to end. There's so many endings. There are so many endings. I need to move, being one of them. So finding somewhere else to live, ending of relationships, ending of jobs, ending of, I'm saying jobs, tiny job, but it was great. It was so great. Ending of ways in which I see myself, even though I'm saying that. I can hear the little part of me that's just fighting very hard to hold on to that. Somebody save me, please. That's the theme of this dark night of the soul of mine, dark night of the ego. I've heard this recently, and I thought that makes a lot of sense because it's not the soul. It's not the soul that's dying. It's the ego that's dying, and the soul that's being reconnected to and rediscovered. So I resonated with that, and as I'm going through this, and I don't know many times where to look and where to go and what to do with myself, I seriously feel like the human part of me wants to run away so much. The human part of me wants to blame everybody else outside for why my life is the way it is. And then I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm doing it again. Here I am again being the victim of my own life. Here I am again wanting to point the finger at why are you that way, or judging. Oh my god, it sneaks up on me so easily, and I know I can never go past whatever it is that I'm judging. I'm going to keep creating there's going to be more and more of that happening in my life until I let go of the judgment. And it is a constant pull back and forth between the human mind that's telling me everybody else outside of me is guilty of my existence or responsible for it, while at the same time I'm like, oh fuck, I need to put this fucker down. I need to let this go, let this one go. And where do I feel this? Because I've noticed many times I feel that knot in my belly of judgment. So where am I going with this? it feels like there are so many endings, and a part of me is freaking out so hard. And it's so interesting because there's this concept that runs through spiritual people, spiritual community, right? Of you gotta fake it till you make it, and you gotta talk like as if, and behave as if, and don't keep telling the old story, which totally, there's so much gold in there. There's a part of me that's not fully entirely accepted that and resonated with ever since I heard it. To me, it's like you're really lying to yourself, you're lying to your higher self, you're lying to whatever. Even though I know there's gold, there's totally gold in there. There's no point in keep telling the old stories because you're going to keep recreating the same. Yet there's also this thing, because I keep saying recreating, this is the one part that, oh god, where do I start with this one? It's the stages of awakening that we're all going through, of one of them being what I just described, being the victim. Life happens to me, and then you get to the point of I am the one that's creating everything. I am in charge of everything that's around me. I do this and I do that, and you can imagine and you can visualize and you can create the desired outcomes of your life and whatever. Then you come to another stage of through me, and it feels like I'm going back and forth between all of this. There's another stage where you just know. There's a deep knowing. That's the fourth one. And I feel like there's a constant going back and forth between these. Because when I say create my reality, or I create these things in my life, I, as my human self, in combination with my higher self, my God self, the universe, source, creator, whatever you want to call it, God, that it's a co-creative process. I'm getting distracted by my needle. It's a co-creative process. I'm not doing this on my own thing. I felt, there was a time when I felt that I had complete control over my life and everything external of me and what happens in it and all of that jazz. And the more and more I go through life, the more I realize that I have no control whatsoever. I only have like a little bit of an input in how I would like things to be and how I'd like things to happen. But at the same time, I'm in this point in my life right now where I'm being shown fully and completely in my face that I have no control whatsoever. That I might want certain things for myself. That I might have a certain vision about where I would want to go and what I would want to do and what I would want to experience. And at the same time, life is like, oh, you think this is it? No. Did I mention that I have to move? I have been asked to move out of this house that I live in. And my first reaction when I heard it was like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. And at the same time had a little bit of wanting to throw my toys out of the pram of, oh, again? I have to do this again? I have to move again? Nah. I have to find somewhere else to go. I have to produce some money out of thin air from somewhere so I can go pay somebody to have me. I have to, and then, oh my God, hold your horses a little bit. Can I rein that all in and trust that I'm being guided? Because as soon as I heard the news, I knew, oh, it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to expand. I've known since I've been here that this is not buzz. I've known since I've been in this place that this is not, how do I put it? Not necessarily a stable, but it's not my place. I knew that when I moved here, it was out of desperation. So I made a quick, impulsive decision. Like, okay, first one, let's go, bam, out, because I had to. Same thing. I had to. I was pushed by the external environment to move out. So I feel like this is where I'm at right now too. I feel like I am, oh, I'm being asked by the flow of the current of life to take the step already, to trust. It's like I feel like I'm in fool. You know the fool card in the tarot deck? That's where I'm at. I am there. And I am fearful. I said I'm creating with my words. I am fearful. I am powerful and I am courageous and I am brave enough to take the step, whatever the step is. I don't know where I'm going. This has been a recurring theme. Do I ever know where I'm going? Is there ever a point in my life where I know for sure, okay, this is where I'm going, this is where I'm heading, this is what I'm doing? Or what good is here that I presently cannot see? See, I've watched this and I wrote these down with my own little beautiful handwriting. That whenever I get to these places of where am I going, what am I doing, oh my god, what is happening, blah, 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 to know to ask the question and to change the question would be, what is that is trying to emerge? What is it that is trying to emerge in my life right now? And what is the vision that the universal presence is holding for me? And sit with those, instead of freaking out like I have been. And I know there is, I was gonna say healing gold, I don't know which word to use. There's gold and healing in the sitting in the fire, in the energy that I was in when I recorded the other part that I'm probably not gonna put out. When I was in it, crying to myself, feeling like a little child that's lost and unsure what to do next, and where am I going, and what am I doing, and oh poor me, and where are things going to show up from. So what are the other questions? What good is here that I presently cannot see? I don't know why, for some reason that sounds like wrong English. Or what is it that's trying to emerge right now that I can't see right now? What's growing? What's happening right now? Because I know, like I said, I am not in charge. I, as my human self, I am not in charge. I am not in control. I am and I am not, because there is that which I call the God, the universe, source, creator, is there. There is here. It's in me too. So there's a little part of that in me, a big part of that in me. It's me. It's all those words. It's in me, it's outside of me, it's internally, it's up there, down there, to the right, to the left, in my needle. It's in my needle. God is in the needle. Yeah, I feel like the path of authenticity is what's calling. It's what's calling me lately the most, because even, I don't know, I've had this thing since forever, since I started going down the awakening path of, I mentioned it previously, fake it till you make it, or you gotta believe this, or you gotta do that. And I just noticed the way the door looks at the back. There's like a key and a lock and whatever the fuck else is in there. Anyway, yeah, this thing of fake it till you make it doesn't seem to have resonated with me at all, because especially when it comes to putting something out, for, I don't know, even this thing that I know it's a marketing strategy that people do when you start your own business and you're growing your own business. And I've seen and I've heard so many people talk about my clients this and my clients that, and I'm like, what clients? You don't have any clients, And I know it's for people that when they begin certain business and they want to talk about the results that they've had, because You want to attract people with your results. They want to see what results you've had in the things that you're putting out. So you tell about the results that my clients or your clients have had. And that's never resonated with me. Like I can't sit here and say I've held this breathwork workshops. Let's say that because this is what I'm doing, right? And I've had so many people that I've attended and had this and that happen and blah blah blah. I can't do that. I can't. I'd rather say what's actually happened, which is I've had a few people at my little workshops. It's so funny calling them little. And I also have this vision of them expanding and ideas that I've got about longer workshops where it would be for like 4 days, and I've got all these ideas about inner child, teenager self, because nobody talks about the inner teenager, adolescent, young adult, whatever you want to call him, because I don't know if teenager is the right terminology no more, but there I am. So I've got all these ideas of what I want to put out there and what I want to do, and blah, 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 and at the same time don't want to talk about it as I've already done this stuff, even though considering time is not linear. I know that that's already been done. So all the ideas that I've got going on in my head about workshops and breathwork ceremonies and coaching, because I want to do one-on-one coaching, group coaching, whatever kind of coaching, I know it's in me, and I know I've got so much to give when it comes to that. But I also cannot say that my clients have had this result and whatever. All I can say is the people that have attended my ceremonies so far have had great experiences so far. And when it comes to experiences, it's not like, oh my God, some explosions and their life transformed completely, because that's not happened yet. From a linear perspective of time happening here, from a human perspective, right? The only things that have happened are people have come. They've listened to me rant. They've listened to me talk about breathwork and explain what it does and explain the process that we were going to walk through, and got themselves in a calm, relaxed state and had visuals and had visions and walked like on cloud 9 for a whole day. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, because that's what's happened so far. What's going to happen in the future? It's so interesting, because I have this idea that I might actually do this. Whatever is in the creative process in my head right now of what I would like to do. I love these earrings, by the way. I always mention my earrings whenever I'm on these recordings. These are so fucking cool. I've got them from my soul sister, my M sister. Anyway, so whatever ideas I've got in the making of I would like to do this and I would like to do that, why am putting out something sooner or later, now, tomorrow, yesterday, because by the time this comes out, who knows what's going to happen, where I want to walk people through this process that I have in my head of inner child, inner teenager, adult self, and older version of you. Because it's so funny, it's 4. Because as I keep talking about time in this episode for some reason. As time is not linear, it is in this reality that we're in somewhat. And it's all happening now anyway. The older version of all of us has already happened. Like everything that I want to achieve in life has already happened. Oh my God. Oh my God, as soon as I say that, and I actually feel into the feeling of that being truth, the wave of relief. The wave of relief. Holy moly. Also, because I'm saying the wave of relief and everything has happened and flow of life and all that. I watched this thing once with one of my friends, and was it Hasim something, and he was talking about the flow of life. See, because this goes with the whole thing of co-creative powers that we all have. So I am creating this and that and the other. I am is creating. So not me, my human self. The I am that's me, I am, oh my God, the higher self, the God self. So Hasim something something. I need to learn names. I don't need to. Hasim, that's his name. That's all I need to know. Was talking about there's an actual flow and current of in the universe. There's like it's been scientifically proven that there's such a thing. I had this I don't know, there was something to do with connection and becoming the connection between me now and the me in the future. And I could feel myself becoming that connection. So becoming the flow, becoming the wire, the wire, that's one word, the thread that's connecting everything. Oh my God, and this goes into, because when I said thread and wires and whatever, it goes very much into the way that Carlos Castaneda describes what Don Juan would teach him, which is the luminous body and all the tentacles. That's it, tentacles that are making up our bodies, tentacles of light. It sounds like sci-fi now. All the tentacles of light that make up our bodies, and those, and seeing those, and being the flow, and connecting those tentacles into the current of life instead of bypassing. And I know I've said this before, that judgment stops the flow. It's so interesting because this is what I think this is one of my biggest lessons in this lifetime. It's freaking judgment, because I notice it coming up more and more lately. And